Hey Internet, I'm Chaz.
And I'm Dan. Welcome to Wine is Serious Business, episode 222. There we go. Doing some 2012 Oregon Pinots, because Chaz was shopping today.
You know, I went down to Vinopolis, a local shop, and was kind of sifting through all their wines. We were trying to line up a show because we're going to have a guest on probably next week, a good friend of ours, and she couldn't make it. So I picked up another show. These are two wines that I was really excited to get into. I've heard a lot about Vincent wines, haven't got to taste a lot of them. And then the Lazarus from Matello is something we tend to check out every year.
Yep.
Man, the 10 was just stellar.
Yep.
The 11 was really austere and quite acidic. And so the 12, I'm really excited to try it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to start with.
Because it's another one we talk about these from time to time. Like, this is one of the bottles I think it's always worth checking out to get something for under 20. Good Oregon Pinot Noir under $20. So
Yeah, because this is like 17 a bottle, 18 a bottle, somewhere in there, depending on your retailer. But yeah, I think it represents the vintage quite well. He definitely lets the vintage shine through, right? Like, he doesn't try to pad it at all, and I really appreciate that.
And a lot of his wines he likes to let sit in barrel and sit in bottle for a little while, but this is the quick turnaround one, which is your first look at what he's working with.
Mm-hmm. Pretty nose, but definitely none of the funky Oregon notes, none of the earthy notes. Like,
Dark
this is more dark fruited, but like a little floral and a little herbaceous to me.
A little bit of that in there. I'm getting the herbaceous. I'm getting like pie crust or like croissant, like the outside of a croissant, like something a little toasted there.
Maybe almost like what have I been eating lately? God damn it.
Pizza crust.
No, but it's
brioche.
what do they call them? The scones.
Scones,
The
there
scones
you
are like
go.
a currant
Right.
scone or a
Sure.
blackberry scone. It's got a little bit of that, right? And I can see that, but man, the like really tart fruited characteristics
Definitely.
stick out to me on the nose. Like, it's almost underripe raspberry to a point, maybe a little bit of cranberry notes.
Smells like a big wine.
Wow.
Lots of fruit there, man.
Totally.
All over the place. Real friendly. Kind of hits the palate right away. The fruit's a little more red than I expected it to be.
Texturally really nice. Like, sort of expecting something a little more thick and a little tough initially. The initial touchdown of the fruit flavors are really nice. The acid definitely comes in and picks up very strongly in the finish and mid-palate and finish, which is awesome. But definitely red fruited. Like, we're talking like the normal cherry sort of thing going on, but leading into like raspberries, maybe like a little pomegranate, like sourness, maybe grapefruited almost towards the very finish. But yeah, awesome for 12. And this is, I'm lining up another blind show with multiple vintages, and I honestly wanted to pour this in the blind thing because it's the Lazarus always tends to be a little austere, austere for the vintage.
Okay.
I should say.
Sure.
Right, like it tends to be dialed down for the vintage. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed 12 on this. Like, on the nose, I definitely would, but on the palate, there's still so much acidity there. Honestly, it's even a little on the strong side for me. Or more so that it does kind of like, towards the end, it kind of rises up above the fruit. So that would lead me away from guessing 12, but the fruit character, I think, has been consistent with other 12s we've had so far.
Right, but not so much dark fruited or ripe. Like, this is definitely more towards the red fruited, very youthful fruit flavors, but with a lot of acid and a pretty good amount of tannin. 86 plus, 87 points for me.
Sure.
Like, it's right in there. And I think if you like this style, I mean, this is almost, like, would you say Burgundian? Like, it's like, it's
I don't use that word
just the
much
way.
anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it's like
I know.
young Burgundy is like all acid with a ton of tannin, a little bit of chalkiness, and a lot of bright
There
red
is
fruit.
a little bit of chalkiness here.
Yeah,
I did note it. Yeah.
And this has that. So I can see this being really great with food. It's actually quite delicious on its own, but man, it's just so powerful with its acid and tannin currently. So.
Yeah. 87 for me as well. I like the fruit flavors, right? On the structural side, the acidity is a little much for me. But I feel like I feel like I could see that working out with a little bit more time to integrate, kind of let the fruit open up a little more too. So I'd definitely be interested in tasting it again in a few months, like, or with food. I think it could work really well because the flavors are nice, and with some dishes that extra acidity is really helpful. So,
and texturally in a really nice place. And if you've liked the Lazarus bottlings, I think a lot of people have followed the Lazarus bottlings. At least we keep our wine in a wine storage. We get to hang out with a lot of other wine geeks. A lot of people follow the Lazarus bottling.
yeah.
And I think if you've liked Lazarus bottlings in the past, you're going to be into it.
Totally agree. Actually,
Yeah.
that's definitely true, right? Because
It's awesome. It's good. So
yeah, good stuff going on. So, on to wine number 2. This is the Vincent 2012 Ribbon Ridge Pinot Noir. Met Vincent a couple times. Like, I know he you know, pretty small independent winemaker as well, but does a lot of work. You know, hustling the wines to local retail shops, doing tastings, kind of trying to get the name out there a lot. Fairly active on social media.
Yep. See his name a lot on social
Yeah,
media.
so cool stuff. Definitely well respected amongst the people that we hang out with. But I don't know, is this the first time we've had his stuff on the show, maybe?
I want to say it's the first
I
time.
think, yeah, which I feel a little bad about. So I'm glad you picked this up.
I mean, let's put it this way. I've heard a lot of good things about these wines from a number of people that I respect, and so I've made a point to taste them. I think I've had them a couple times at tastings and I've enjoyed the wines. So I really wanted to get this one on the show, and I saw 12. Like, I'm really trying to push 12s up onto the show because 12s are going to be coming out for a while, for another year, and I like more fruit. So
Sure.
this was a good opportunity to try this wine, so I'm excited.
It's a really savory nose, right? Like almost edging into like pot roast there with the
Big
savory
time.
character. Not so much in the sense like it's a big
Yeah, no
bunch
umami.
of cooked vegetables or anything, but like
Right.
the
It's not stir fry or anything.
yeah, but like a little bit of that roast beef going on.
Definitely has a more savory note to it, but
Some
more
really
cooked cherries.
Yeah.
A little bit baked down. Like this
nice
is
brown
definitely,
blackberries, I think.
This is showing a little more of the ripeness of the vintage, I guess you could say, maybe.
Sure.
But the flavors are very delicious, right? Like they have there's a little bit of earthiness behind them, and all of those, like that savory component along with the fruit. It smells good. So. That's easy to drink.
Really easy.
Yeah.
Man. It's really, really soft and pleasant. The acidity is kind of on the lighter side, but it does give a lighter touch. I mean, kind of a lift to the fruit as it goes across the palate.
It does. And on second taste, that was so light to me initially. I was kind of worried that the Lazarus was sort of maybe leftovers, that the acid of it was sort of making me think this didn't have enough acid. But on second taste, it definitely does. Like the acidity is definitely meshed in well with the fruit flavors on this.
And man, no problems with ripeness on this fruit as I'm tasting it.
No,
Like
it's-
the fruit has like a sweet taste to it, like not like the wine sweet, but like the fruit is fully ripe and present. I'm getting a little bit of complexity from the fruit on the mid palate, like it's like sweeter blackberry, like edging towards jam. Again, I don't want to say that this is a jammy wine.
No.
I don't feel that way about it, but it's where that
The blackberries are
concentrated
ripe.
fruit, right?
Yeah,
And I'm getting
very
like a
ripe.
little pop of raspberries or something in the mid palate where it lightens up just for a moment.
I would agree with this blackberry description of this because I mean it's almost like it's like a mouthful of blackberry juice. It's just got that characteristic very distinctly, and it's very nice. With just a touch of something maybe floral,
Sure.
or I don't want to say herbaceous because it's not that. But
Yeah, I agree.
no, it's more floral. But anyway,
Getting a little bit of tannins, kind of like rising up on the finish, but they stay pretty low. Less than I'd expect given the intensity of the fruit, but that's fine with me.
but the acid is fully in line the whole time.
I think so, yeah.
Right, there's really good acid here with the fruit, and it lingers for a good amount of time, and just keeps in line with the fruit.
Yeah, if you're an acid hater, it might even be a bit much, but with the right flavors, I think it needs it. And so I think it's a really good, kind of good balancing act to have that acidity in
agree.
there with the fruit.
I agree.
It keeps it light and clean. Not something that I find myself thinking for a long time about, but sticks on the palate nicely. And you could easily drink through a lot of this.
Totally.
Like, it's just really.
It's really delicious. Yeah, as far as, I mean, this is going to be one that's more of a crowd-pleasing style. Like, this is people that maybe suffer from a more overly acidic or tannic wine. This one has enough fruit to provide that just that stuff that other people need.
Yeah.
That said, it's got enough for geeks, got enough interesting characteristics for people like us. I really like it. 89 points for me. Like, this is more in line with the stuff I like.
Sure, 88 plus for me. A little bit back off, but I still feel really good about it. Like, just very enjoyable drinker. I think he's getting a little more complexity out of it than I am, but well put together. And actually, what was the price point on this?
$22 a bottle.
Okay, man, really nice price again.
And great at that price point. Just
and also ready to rock right now.
Yep.
Which especially as more as like the higher tier releases start to come out, I think that's not going to be true about a lot of 12s.
No,
right? So
there's going to be a lot of structured wines.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're looking one to take off the shelf, drink that night. It's a good pick.
Yep.
Two cool things. I was happy to check in on them.
Me too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Good question of the day. I've been staying up later than I should lately, and I'm just curious, like on a good night, like not looking you can survive on, but like in your normal schedule, like how much sleep do you need to get by day to day? For me, I think it's about 7 hours. Like I can do 6, but if I do 6, definitely 3 days in a row, I'm not at my best, right? Like I can get by, but there's a price to pay. So, but if I can do 7 indefinitely, comfortably.
So my work week is shorter. The longest my work week is 4 days, and if I push 6 all 4 of those days, by the last day I'm a pile of shit. But it's I would say 6.5. Like it's really weird that I found that like
That half matters.
yeah, that really half matters. So 6.5 would be right.
I believe it. Yeah. So easy question of the day. Let us know. I'm
John
curious.
Moser's a nice shifter.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how you do it, man. And I know some people who do 6 comfortably, consistently, but it doesn't work for me. And definitely like having more responsibility on the job makes it more difficult. Like I remember used to be able to go in and do it on autopilot, so
Right.
it doesn't
Like
matter so
living.
much. Yeah. But you can't really either, right? Like now there's the potential of making mistakes that are too expensive.
You just
right?
cross your fingers and hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah. So that's a question. We'll be back next week, hopefully with an awesome guest. A lot of good content coming up. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.